Gotta elevate through the challenges. Might bend, but baby, you won't break. It's okay to make all your mistakes.
When I think about Dare to Evolve, I think about personal growth and development, change, or a transformative journey. Today, I want to welcome you to our first episode of the podcast, Dare to Evolve. I'm your host, Kerry Laurence, and I have the pleasure, I'm excited to really interview the face behind the concept, behind the idea, Miss Valérie Damaseau. Now, for many of us, we may know her as a politician, as the president of the St. Martin Tourist Bureau, as a volleyball player, as a mother, a sister, and aunt. However, today I have the distinct pleasure of putting her in the hot seat and probably under the microscope a bit, where we get to discuss the Valérie that we don't see in a professional setting. Hi, Val.
Why is it my heart is racing like this? Hi, Kay. How
How
are
are
you?
you? I'm good, and you?
I'm wonderful.
You look very beautiful.
Thank you very much, and so do you.
Thank you. We're going to get right into it because I'm very much interested in knowing about you, the Valérie behind the closed doors, the Valérie when she's finished with work and she goes home. What type of individual is she, especially the Valérie on the path of evolution? So first, I want to start off by asking you, well, we have been hearing the term Dare to Evolve everywhere. We've been seeing it on Facebook, on various social media outlets. What really motivated you to come up with that brilliant idea?
You make no joke. You just jump right
Right
into
into
it, right?
it, right into
Yes.
it.
Oh, dear to evolve. Where did that come from? I must be honest. Growing up in a family, a huge family, I often tell my mom, I don't understand how you could have had 8 children. I love all of them. You really had no TV back then because impossible. That's a lot of human beings to
Yes.
manage. And growing up with my siblings and seeing the various personalities, we all have, and the back and forth and the quarreling, because the quarreling is real. The love is real.
I know how that feels.
But the quarreling is real. And most of the time, as we as siblings will argue, you ask yourself, like, yeah, but why is it so hard to talk to Kay? Why is it so hard to talk to Paul? Why is it so hard to talk to this one? And I remember always saying, I think that in life, what we do is always try to anticipate or project something, the answer that we would love from others. And I try to make us understand always, don't ask me where it came from. I always just have this spirit of, finding the juste milieu, meaning that you try to find a balance in everything that you do and telling them, you know what, I have to accept my brother for what he just said. I have to accept that that's my sister way of thinking, and trying to cope and make everyone understand. Like I said, I can't tell you where I got that gift from. I consider it as a gift, a heavy gift.
Yeah.
But it started all from there with trying to find that key issue, but by accepting and loving everyone that brought it forth. And then as I continued, I always find myself in a position where people would be, I would love to be just like you. I would love that. And it just became heavier and heavier. As much as a lot of people would love a spotlight, it just
Yes.
became heavier and heavier because for me, what they're seeing is an end product, and they're not seeing that
The process.
exactly at the time that before you see all the glamour and all that you attach to and that
Yeah.
you tag on to, that there's a time of weeping, there's a time of
Crying.
vulnerability.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I truly believe in putting something where you can have this candid conversation, where there is no taboo conversation, where you can reach out to someone else and make them understand that by sharing our journeys, our experience, we can push each other to evolve.
Now, I know that you said that you grew up in a very big family, and I know what that can feel like. I know what that is like because I myself come from a very large family as well. And I know that with siblings, there can be sometimes siblings rivalry, tensions here and there. How was that for you growing up in such a large family? Would you say that impacted the individual that you are today? Would you say that it helped shape you into becoming the Valerie that we see on the outward? How has that affected you? How important is family is to you?
I truly believe the fact that growing up in that surrounding with my siblings and with a single mom, a single parent, it was totally different and an experience of keeping us together. My mom, the provider, the mother, the father, everything for that family. I must say that it really helped me on the way I see life and the way I will treat others. My mom will instill in us all the time, to really do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. She will explain you the importance of self-respect, self-love, and also to love one another. Really be your brother's keeper. It's just not a saying in our household. The importance of these core values that we set among ourselves, which is, of course, we try our best to examples. One occasion I look for every week is Sundays. Now, you could have try to hide your church shoes, but you have to get ready to go to church. And trust me, if you don't want your mom to pull you out of the house in your slippers,
I know what
get
that
your
is
church shoe and
like.
come out. And something that stayed with us even as we are grown today is that we look forward to that Sunday. All of us don't go to church, but we gather at 12 o'clock right after church for lunch. And it's not even about a meal anymore. It's really about this time of reminiscing.
Yes.
Now we can talk the same thing over and over. They will laugh about them calling me back then Miss Puss. We can talk about that one another time. We need a whole podcast for that alone. We'll talk about my brothers and so forth, ramping or even getting us ready. They're the one coming over here. Like I said, we have my mom, a single mom that did her utmost. And I'm thankful and grateful for a mom like her. And really instilling in us, no, don't matter how, whether we were living with our dads or not, but the importance of respecting your father figure, the male figure that is around, but mostly love and respect each other. So our elder brothers will always come over here in these pompous that we never understand. And throughout all of that, you had to respect the fact that this is the bond. This is a circle that you have. We share. We don't have, we still share what we don't have, and very much founded in love. So yes, that family circle, that moral values that was taught in our family, which was even with nothing, you find
Let's
joy.
talk about
peace,
that a
and
bit, even with nothing.
yes. Yeah, I definitely, like I say, people always see the end result. I always look at my mom, some people would be that, who's your role model? And some people jump and go clearly, it's my mom, it's your mom, it's your mom. But really and truly, my mom came from St. Kitts. My mom been here for years. She came here with my two brothers, and then of course today we're 8. And you know how it is that you just see your mom on a go, you have school.
Yes.
Imagine I have one picnic, one, and you have to get it all together, whether it's for school, whether it's for afternoon activities, whatever it may be. And stuff today is so rough, so expensive, and I'm like, I have to pick and choose where I put my daughter because that's a lot. And imagine a single mom that is out there and actually just laying it all on the table with a smile.
Yeah.
But little as she knew, and I think a lot of people have that experience where if you wake up in the wee hours of the night, then you will actually hear your mom. Either she would be praying or she would some tears will be running out, and just like help me to figure it out. And a lot of people will see me today and figure that she was born with a gold spoon because
But they did not see the many
you did
times when she was crying. They did not see the many times when she probably wasn't able to provide equally for all her children. And look at the type of individual that you are today. Now, I know that you mentioned that your mom was a single mother. And I know that comes with its own struggles as well. And you yourself
Yeah.
raising your beautiful daughter that you have as a single mother as well. How was that journey for you?
You know, it is very much important, and I must acknowledge the fact that I have a support group. I always say that God never give you more than you can handle. And at time, sometimes you wish for some things, or sometimes you see your life take another path, and you question things.
Yes.
And working on my self growth and investing more time in myself, I've decided a very long time ago not to question God anymore and everything that He moves now. Others can talk about a universe, others can talk about anything else. I'm not trying to make it religion, but that's actually how I function. And when I say I learned a long time ago not to question God, is because I realized that key stuff keep happening to me after some horrible times, whether it was after a breakup or after you lost some friends. You have no reason why they just exited your life, and we weep and we mourn and we carry on. And I was looking at a movie a day, Tyler Perry, and I think it was The Diary of a Mad Black
Woman.
And there was a part in that play that stuck with me forever when he said, sometimes in life we're trying to hold on to things that God is long trying to tear apart. And I was like, oh, that hit home. Now that's deep. And all of that to say what? At the end of the day, it was complicated.
Yes.
It is hard. But you have to find that inner strength to accept what is.
So you would say that your inner strength during that process came from God, came from probably your upbringing of your family that was able to kind of keep you together at that time.
Surely pushing through stuff and trusting the journey, trusting the process. You don't try to get to the end of something, you go through it. And that's something I really and truly admire about my mom. Despite whatever it may be, she just steadfast, go through, and at the end, you see the results. And as I speak about that moment, it gives me a flashback on my grandmother, that everyone knows who knows me knows that she really played a big, big role in my life, and she actually was, if I was to choose, which I not choose, but maybe my mom wouldn't watch a podcast. I would say my grandmother was very much influential on my life.
Okay.
And it is something that, with a smile, you don't need to walk out your house and looking all pitiful and sorry for people to feel for you, brace up yourself, but allow yourself to feel. I mean, allow yourself to feel. You want me to allow myself to feel and sit in school like nothing happened, and it was very hard at a time, with all of that going on, and then of course losing my grandmother. That was, I think, the first time that I learned to accept that. That was pretty hard because we really had a very, very good relationship. But one thing she taught me, and it stuck, the same thing with my mom and so forth, is that you trust the process.
Yeah.
No matter how painful it is, no matter what it is, you have to go to the end of it. So this mentality that I have to see the glass half full and not half empty, I do believe those are the pillars in my life that actually made it.
Would you consider that or probably another aspect of your life as being one of the biggest challenges that you would have faced?
Yeah, there's so much that comes to mind right now. And like I said, on this journey of soul searching and finding a balance in life, always being at the front of everything that you're doing, always being the one to, like my brothers and sisters will say, oh la la, we're tired of her. She's the voice
Valerie
of reasoning
again.
again.
Yeah.
Like, oh please, come on.
Yeah.
You don't understand anything. You're the voice of reasoning. Come on, come on. Everything have to be black or white for you when it's not black and white, And I can't justify that. But there's a lot of stuff at first I would not allow myself to feel.
Okay.
I will not allow myself to take it on too much. I will let rejections be. I will let
But
Being
were you always built like this? Like if a situation became so dire or if you just met a roadblock, would you say that you would that type of individual who would automatically say, you know what it is. I'm just gonna move past this, or did you had to work to reach to that place?
Well, the truth is, actually, I had to work on that, and I think my strength really came after having my daughter. I say, and this engages me alone, as a woman, I believe in life, we take so much, we do so much, and you settle at times. But I saw a switch in my life when I became a mom. My life was no longer just mine. I had the responsibility of, I had to know that my decisions have a wider impact. So, if I'm totally honest, I would say that at the time, many might say, oh, she was naive to stuff, but it could have been rough because I would not just run to, oh, let me be the bigger person here. No, I wanted to give you a peace of mind,
My
maybe
mind.
give you a 2 cents.
Yeah.
Don't forget, don't let the smile fool you. But I would actually be quick to react.
Okay.
And again, I always ended up on a platform where people will see something in me that I did not see in myself.
In yourself.
Like,
can you say that again?
people will always see something in me that I did not see in myself, And as time, you're young. You're not thinking about, I started to play volleyball at the age of 11, between 11 and 13. And you reach on the court, you're playing, and they're like, you're going to be the captain. Like, what? I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah, but don't you realize when you talk, everyone listen, right?
So you got engaged in other...
Yeah, I was not paying attention to that.
So how do you think your involvement in volleyball as a sport impacted your personal life?
I always have a debate with parents. Parents constantly feel from time their kids are not good in school. The first thing they want to remove, well, now they will remove the tablets and so forth, but the first thing they will be, I'm going to remove the child from sports. And I look at them as like, that's an error. Sports really teaches you balance, teaches you how to share, teaches you how to be a team player, teaches you how to be less selfish, teaches you actually, a different state of mind. And actually, sports, not just on the winning side, because we all love to win, but losing after putting in the work. Because when you train and you feel like you're the best and so forth, and you go out and you get a plop, plop, 3-0. He's like, what? All these days of training, that's what it led to. So that's the first thing I always say, that's a bad move. That's a pretty, pretty bad move, because I think sports actually open the doors and your personal growth, your personal life.
It helps you remain more disciplined.
Very disciplined.
I can relate to you because I think we share some of the same personalities, myself. So that's good to know. So you got engaged into that, and that kind of helped you, on your journey to evolution in whatever sphere of life you want to pursue. Now, Valerie, I know that when we look at you, we see, the beautiful young woman that you are.
Oh, thank you.
But I also know that you have faced a lot of challenges and a lot of difficulties in life. And I know that sometimes in your capacity as an individual, dealing with people can be very, 1 minute they're at a 0 and the next they're at 100 very quickly. How would you say you would deal with frustration?
It's so funny because indirectly you said if my brothers and sisters are actually looking at this now, they would laugh and be like, if they only know she goes 0 to 100 real quick, and really 0 to 100 real quick. And it took time, maturity.
Do you get frustrated a lot? Are you easily frustrated?
Used to.
Okay.
Used to.
Okay, we'll leave it as
that. Well, I would say used to is because most of the time, I don't do something without planned in, like have it all figured out. So people will say, yeah, you're too calculated for me. But that's my comfort zone. So I will get frustrated when I realize how sloppy someone else could be in something that you're doing. And being in business, getting the opportunity when I started to work to actually, lead a team and, great opportunities that came across, I first had to start to question myself, put myself back in question, and see things differently. So I was slower to anger, slower to react, and very quick to now listen. Because I truly believe a lot of us, we actually listen to answer, but never to understand. So you're speaking to me, but
Yeah,
I'm
like
not
I'm
even
not even
listening because
hearing you at
I'm
all.
reading to answer. I'm eager. So I was pretty on the edge. I was someone that, because if something was not
Thin
perfect,
skin,
yeah,
like,
very thin skin.
okay.
But not in the negative way of you want to flip out and cross or anything like that. It's just in terms of organization, in terms of how you will take your life yourself in hand or how you will handle stuff. It just frustrated me, so I will get frustrated. But I've learned that it is okay not to have all the answers.
Yes.
I've learned that it's okay to just do nothing.
And hearing you saying that ties in with my thoughts. Because when people look at you, they see, okay, Valerie as the perfect individual. She has everything going on for her, everything that's going well. How would you say you deal with that idea of perfection?
It gets heavy and very much tiresome. And this is why I said at the beginning, when this whole idea came across, I've been writing quotes for quite some time, but it was just on the surface. And then you still have people constantly coming up, I just want to be like you.
Yeah.
Boy, I just want that job that you have, or I just want to have that strong self-esteem that you have. And I was like,
They see the glitter,
you see the glitter.
but they don't see the process
And it's
that
nothing
it comes
bad,
with.
but
Yes.
as much as I will hear that, it was heavy for me. And I'm somebody that is very, very emotional, as much as I can be very strong. And I had to constantly tell myself, if I'm speaking to you, I'll easily start to cry. And then I was like, because much people see that as a sign of weakness.
Yes.
Much people see that as a sign of weakness. And then I built this
Wall.
that
Because now you don't want to show your vulnerabilities to
exactly.
others.
And then I would walk out of a room and then totally destroy. But the time I walk out the room, someone else meets, you have to put on another hat, you have to be someone else, you have to do something else, and you never get a chance to just allow yourself to sit in it, feel, and deal with it. And
How did you come out of
so
that?
that was a day telling myself, really and truly, not to take anything personal. Learning not to take anything personal. And if I'm going to be frank with you, as much as I don't want to link this journey to politics at all, I remember getting into politics, and one thing that came across, and that's when I learned not to take anything personal. The bashing, the attacks, the
But did that affect you
big time.
personally?
Big time. So in order for me to overcome that, I had to tell myself, maybe it's wrong, but that's how I got over it. I had to tell myself that the bashing is not about you, Valérie Damaseau. Can't be about Valérie Damaseau, this French Quarter girl that anybody knows, that just love to laugh and just very much open. And I had to tell myself, and like I say, someone else maybe they will say, oh no, that's wrong.
Yes.
It's not. I had to tell myself it's not personal. You're in a position today where people are actually expecting answers. They're not expecting you to say, they see you like a god. We have a problem today, fix it. I can't expect you to answer the same thing that someone on a corner or someone on the outside of this arena will answer.
Yeah.
And it was heavy. It was pretty heavy
can
because it was your people. It was
People that you did
people
not
you went to
expect,
people
people
you
that
went
you
to
thought
school
would have your
with, people you
back.
did all of that
Yes.
with. And to be honest, at that time, when you start to have those direct confrontation, it's either I drive you nuts, or you ready to say, you know what, this ain't for me.
Did you ever
And
felt that you just needed to?
yeah, to stop.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to be out of the spotlight. And again, I will have my one-on-ones, because as much as they say I don't question God, I would be like, This can't be normal, this bashing, this I had to deal with, from time women are making moves or actually getting somewhere in life that means you
Yes.
sleep your way to the top.
Yes.
From
And
time
the naysayers and the
people see you
stereotype.
exactly. People see you as a single mom. They're trying to figure out, wait, who's there, and they make stories and so forth. And then actually you're speaking and defending your cause, and no one is hearing that. And then at the same time, there all the bashing and all the confrontation, and then it's like, I can't even get two steps. They're not even listening to the key issue here. Everyone is taking something else, and
So how do you come out of
so
that?
that's what. So I got a rude awakening. I got a really rude awakening.
No, I think you're going where I want to go. Because I know we're not here to talk about
Yeah.
Valerie the politician,
Yeah.
but sometimes our professional life kind of just ties itself into our personal life.
Yeah.
And I know that there was a moment in your life where you were politically incarcerated. I don't know if it's 1 day, 2 days, 2 nights.
36 hours.
Right. And now we from the outside, we're looking at you, right? And my question is, because I'm trying to fathom, if I am in that place, how did you deal with, what was your mental process like? What was your thought process like during that time? How did you survive that, Valerie?
In life you say you're always ready to tackle any conversations. There are certain topics that as much as you believe you overcome or you can handle certain stuff, is you don't speak about it openly, then you don't really realize. And when I said that at a time in your life, you really got like a rude awakening. And here I am, you're just here. Sorry. The heart just started racing again because no one will quite understand that experience. And like I said, I would not wish it on even my worst enemy. So here you are, and we started off this conversation with talking about core values in life. And coming from a family, a single mom that did everything for her kids, and you find yourself in a situation overnight where here you are in detention, 36 hours, in a cell, on a cold piece of floor, on a concrete, a little hole, a little window, and you're like, for what? Because you choose to serve. And it was, I must say that in that moment, actually realizing that I thought of my mom that whole time, with my mom that, like I say, we her kids, none of us. Maybe we didn't give back the change in the center shop. But in all honesty, you never imagined that one of your children or one of your child would end up
there.
And in that time, I didn't think about me. I remember going through the process before going to the gendarmerie that day because it was supposed to be just questioning. I remember the night before speaking to my family, and I was actually explaining them that, you know what, one thing I need you to know is that all that is being said is a lie. This is a situation, and you need to trust the work that you have done in me, the work that you have instilled. That's me talking to my mom, and it was hard.
I can imagine.
I had my daughter that was a mess. She didn't understand anything. And as we were there in the whole back and forth and they said, you know what, you would have to stay here in detention. I was like, who, me? First of all, I'm claustrophobic, so this not gonna work. Call a doctor, call whoever, because I ain't going in there because I didn't do absolutely nothing. And not even bashing or talking about anyone. It's like people killing people for fun, people robbing people for fun, and here you are with so believe that they believe you did something so wrong. And it got real when they actually said, make the call to bring clothes. I was like, excuse me? And I actually had my lawyer with me, and when she came, she said, I'm going to try everything, but this does not look good. And the first concern was because I really claustrophobic. I wouldn't wear anything to take it off my neck.
Yeah.
And my brother will actually, if I'm taking off my shirt, just come at the top and hold, just so he could hear me scream. And and that night, when actually they said make the call, I could not find the words. So when I call home, as much as I am the one that is strong, you're the go-to person in your family. You're the
The person
the
that
voice,
can come, the
yeah,
voice of reason.
the voice of reason. And here now, you have this. So you made a call. I remember calling my big brother, and he was like, "What?" And he showed up, and that was the worst experience ever.
You want a
Yeah,
napkin?
it's not supposed to happen.
But we want to keep it real because that is what Dare to Evolve is all about, sharing our experiences and drawing from that, knowing that each of us, we do have a story and we will go through many turbulent times of our lives, but it is the ability to develop that willpower, that even if you face adversity, that you can tell yourself, I am going to come out of this stronger and a better person. Because I know during that time, Valerie, there was a lot of naysayers, and particularly for people who you would have considered, persons that were dear to you, probably people you thought would at that time have your back, would just be so quick to believe anything that was put out there. And I cannot fathom myself dealing with something like that.
Yeah. Like I said, when it got real was my brother actually coming in, and when someone just hold you and you felt the whole person body trembling. It's hard to see a man cry. And my brother stood there with water running and running. And he looked at the gendarme that was actually interviewing me, and he said, in French, but he said, my mother raised 8 children on her own without a father figure around. And if she did think one day, she said she would have never thought one of her children would have been here. She preferred to leave herself undone. She preferred to do all of this, but teaching you, because you're not going to come and ask and get all the riches and not giving you the reality of it. But to know that you have Valerie there, you need to know that you got it wrong. You got it so wrong, My mom would have never imagined none of us. She surely would not imagine Valerie. And he said that, stood firm right there with tears running down his eyes. And I have to stay there strong. When I tell you strong, because you don't want them to see you breaking
And
down.
you also have a child.
So, in that night, with all of that being said, and of course, the doctors that came and was like, you know what? You're not mentally ill. You're not, claustrophobic is not a disease, so we cannot. So, you watch TV, and I used to say, I'm telling you, me and you together, don't go jail because I ain't going in there. I ain't coming to visit. It's nothing wrong. It's just, being paranoid with hearing maybe the movies or something. Yeah, clack, 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 clack. I don't want to hear that behind me because it's just like a trauma that you have that stays there. To cut to the chase, that experience is something that I will never, ever forget. And making our way up to actually, like I said, to get in a cell. You find yourself in a little box, a little cell. And the rough part about it, and I think I started telling you that, was going through that experience and having to go through that journey where actually you found yourself a little room. Before they put you in your cell, they actually let you shower. And someone on the outside pressing the button for you. And I'm not going to go more in depth in it because it's really something that I'm still dealing with. But just imagine as the lady going through that time of the month, and you actually have to have someone press a button so you can shower and come out. So how I got out of that, okay, to be honest, morning couldn't come faster. Despite a lot that went on, we have key people that was there. We might not be on good terms today, but they knew that I was claustrophobic, and he chose to actually change cells with me. That's what made the night a little barren, because then his cell had more window or space, or more of a gated something. But all I could have think about is that I wanted to get out of here, and I saw myself on the beach just running, running. And you know what was the rude awakening and all of that? That's a journey political journey where you did something with helping someone, an elderly, after hurricane. And you did not expect this to fall back on you like this, to be used against you. And then I figured that I handled bashing well. But when you hear your own people, she thieved the money, she buy a house, low land, she this, she that, it's like, I guess it was just too much all at once. And then the icing on the cake was actually my daughter having to
Hear those things
hear
as well.
those things. She's going to school, and people are like, yeah,
So she's coming home as well.
yeah, your mother this, your mother was in jail. And then, people so fast to make little minutes, and they will do a collage of a picture, you in a jumpsuit, and they find it funny because they put some bling bling chains on you, and boy, Valerie's in jail. I remember coming out of there, and I didn't share this with no one, nobody really. I said there's no way you can be sacrificing all of that to people, and there was not even a handful of people in the front of the gate
Yeah.
trying to strike and fight for you. Now, everyone have their journey. No, this is, I'm telling you, this is me. When I got out of there, I got home. Important to have a strong surrounding, support network. They was just sitting there. I got in, I let the water run. I didn't say anything. I just lie down. I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning when I got up. I just went on, and I left from my house, and I ran on the beach. People got up, they didn't know where I was. And I never felt so empty. I never felt so dirty. I never felt so ashamed. And, that was the moment I said, no.
Yeah, no.
From the age of 7, I actually started in community work. I actually had no time for family. My family used to not see me because I'm always out there doing something. But that was too much. That was the icing on the cake when I say, you know what? I'm not going to take anything personal, but I'm going to learn from this experience. I'm going to learn from this experience because you were expecting.
Yes.
And you received this. And I had to talk to myself and convince myself that, Valerie, you're worthy.
Yes.
Valerie, you're
not
still,
what people
you're not what people think of you.
Yeah, right.
And there's a quote, and you guys will see that is coming out. I say, people may know your name, but they really don't know your story. And that stuck with me. And again, that's who I am. I just went into some deep worshiping because music does a lot to me. When words don't speak, music, the lyrics does. And I remember the song, He Made a Way. And also, if you remember, because we go to the same church.
Yes, I remember that time as well for you.
Definitely, there's a time that you don't question things.
I agree.
And that was a time. That was a time of self-reflection. So yeah, that is actually one of the time that I had to say, take back a look at your life, all that you're given and all that you're doing. Is it worth it? But I was definitely comfortable with being able to look at myself in the mirror. So this is something that I work on all the time. I would actually, if I'm able to get up in the morning, first of all, I'm grateful, thankful for that. And then I look at myself in the mirror. If I'm happy with what I see, too bad for you.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. So which means I, like I said, continue doing the best that I can, but call me selfish now, but Valerie has to come first.
That's right. That's right. Just one more question, Valerie. I know that throughout your process, I've been hearing you saying, but God, and thank God that you came out of that situation and you were acquitted of all the assumptions of wrongdoing, thankfully. But I want to ask, are you a spiritual person? And
I totally believe that you need to believe in something. You need to believe in something, you need to stand for something, or else you fall for anything, or you just continue to fall short. I've been brought up this way, and I have no problem with it at all.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to recite all the scriptures.
yes,
I just won't.
yeah,
Don't ask me either to, Valerie, but you are a big Christian. I don't know what the meaning of a big Christian. I do believe in higher callings.
yes,
I do believe in, I definitely do believe in higher callings. So I will say that I totally believe that
your go-to place.
that's my
Yes.
that's my safe space.
Yes.
My safe space in terms of that's where my strength comes
Lies.
from. That's where my strength comes from, And seeing my mom, like I said, my mom just has always been a role model. And I believe if I did not have that relationship with God, again, like I said, don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Don't come shoot no scriptures and ask me some of them. No, there's key ones that speaks to me, but really and truly, it's a choice I made.
And it
choice
kept
I
you
made.
during
It
your
kept me during all that
process.
time. And I don't leave my house without manifesting and attesting that it's going to be a wonderful day.
Yes.
I don't leave my house without covering me from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. No, some people say, oh God, she pulled out the oil. Has nothing to do with it.
No.
It's my conversation. It's my time to just lay there and be grateful.
Yeah.
Be grateful for life and know that every day that is given is actually a blessing.
A blessing.
And some people will be like, you love celebrating your birthday. And someone told me a day, but do you know that means you have one day less to live because it clicking off? I was like, well, I'm going to celebrate every chance I get.
That's it.
Every chance I get. So with all of that experience and definitely rough times, as much as some people may not see that, know that it was a choice and it all starts with a choice. And I always believe that you first need to understand that you're unique.
You're special.
You're special.
Yes.
My name is Valérie Damaseau. Maybe someone would end up with the same name, but we're definitely
different persons, different personalities.
And the one tool that you have in life is that you are you.
That's right.
So I'm sorry. You accept the fact that you are you and know that you're well capable, worthy, and that
you can do anything that you want
in your life
to do. You can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. It begins with you,
yes,
and it ends with you as a person. I'm so encouraged talking with you. Even me myself through my own process, you have really challenged me as well. To just find that go-to place, Kay, and tell yourself daily that you can and you will. With that being said, I want to ask you one last question, and you're going to complete the statement for me. What are you challenging yourself to do? I dare to evolve too.
Wow. No, actually, the journey that I'm on right now, daring to evolve my personal life, finding that balance between all that I choose to do. Finding that fact that, sometimes, most of the time, if I decide to do anything for me personally, it's like, you're selfish. I tell myself it's okay to be selfish if you're working on you and you're seeking that self-validation. And really dare to evolve my personal life as, you know what, I'm at a stage where sometimes I just don't want to be the strong person that everyone is looking for in a room.
And it's okay now.
And it's okay.
Yes.
So, dare to evolve my personal life.
Dare to evolve my personal life. Dare to evolve. There you have it.